Hello everyone, I'm Rick Wright with the Livestock Market Report, brought to you today from the Canadian Angus Association. Today's report originates out of Manitoba. We'll take a look at the prices out of Manitoba for the last week, October, and the first couple of sales in November. In the past week in Manitoba, they had big volumes of cattle. They traded about 18,000 stockers and feeders. We had probably one of the biggest weeks that we're going to have all fall, with the end of October payments due, so a lot of producers brought in some cattle. Some foul weather also pushed some cattle off the pastures. Before we take a look at today's prices, let's take a look at the cow trade. We saw the cows off another $3 to $4 per hundredweight again this week, and that trend is going to continue for the next 2 to 3 weeks for sure. Packers are harvesting the fed cattle. They're getting those cattle bought now at about $221 dress, delivered into Alberta. They're booking into the first and second week of December, and there's really no need for them to kill any cows. They're just killing the minimum amount of cows that they need to kill to get their processing done. But they're really focusing on the harvesting of the heavy fed cattle that have been backlogged for 2 to 3 weeks type of thing. So don't expect the cows to get any better over the next couple of weeks. In Manitoba, the prices on the feeder cattle, well, it took a heck of a set of steers at 600 pounds to break $2 this past week, but we did see some optimism in the futures. We saw 5 days in a row where we saw green ink on the futures market. That was better. We did see a little more enthusiasm from the guys in Alberta as far as buying some stockers and feeders out of Manitoba. We did start to see a few cattle move into the U.S., which was a bit of a surprise, and we expect the market to be fully steady for the upcoming week. Taking a look at your price trends for the past week out of Manitoba, your steers 300 to 400 pounds averaged $256, with sales topping at $286. Your 400 to 500 pound steers averaged $232, with sales topping at $260. Your 500 to 600 pounders traded at a $207.5 average, with sales up to $220. Your 6 to 7 weights, lots of those cattle on offer this week, averaging $191 with sales to $2. The odd sale on some real fancy black cattle and some Charolais trading at $201. 700 to 800 pound wet nose calves averaged $182 with sales up to $191. Your 800 to 900 pound wet nose calves averaged $175 with sales to $180. The 9 pluses, most of them with yearlings coming in, few stragglers coming off the grass, averaging $168 with sales to topping at $177. On the heifer trade, a little more action on the heifers, a little more local action on those heifers this week. Your good 300 to 400 pound heifer calves in Manitoba traded on an average of $206.25 with sales to $217. Your 400 to 500 pounders at $192 with sales to $208. Your 500 to 600 pounders averaged $175 with sales to $187. 6 to 7 weights for the week in Manitoba, $164 average, topping at $171. And 700 to 800 pounders averaged $161 with sales up to $168. And your 800 pound plus, most of those were yearlings, trading at $155 on the average, topping sales at $164. We're expecting big volumes again for the upcoming week in Manitoba and right across Western Canada. It looks like the market maybe has found its bottom part. We did get good news this week with the feed grain starting to drop in the U.S. Barley prices in Canada also dropping, and that put a little more enthusiasm in the market as well. Reporting on behalf of LMAC for the Canadian Angus Association, I'm Rick Wright. Have a good day and good marketing.